After a long shift, a troubled dog blocked the ambulance's path. Initially, the paramedics attempted to shoo her away, but they soon realized she wanted to be followed. It quickly became evident that this sweet puppy was destined for incredible things right by their side. Amid a hectic day for the ambulance service, rushing from one emergency to another, their shift finally drew close. Driving slowly down a narrow one-way street, they stopped at a sign when suddenly a dog darted in front of them, blocking their path. Just what they needed, they thought, as they attempted to chase the dog away. Yet, as soon as they approached, the canine scampered to the side of the road, casting glances back at them. They returned to the ambulance with a sense of accomplishment, ready to depart. However, before the engine could roar to life, the dog reappeared, steadfast in her determination to prevent their departure. As they exited the ambulance, the persistent dog once again darted off in a specific direction, continuously glancing back at them. Her tongue hung out, and she exhibited an accelerated pace of breath, evident signs of distress. The paramedics, intrigued by her behavior, questioned the reason behind her agitation. Was she signaling them to follow her? Determined to unravel the mystery, they decided to put their theory to the test, trailing a few feet behind the canine. The dog maintained her forward momentum with each step, but consistently checked to ensure the paramedics were in tow. It became apparent that she sought to convey something meaningful. They ended up on a side street with many bushes, all thanks to the determined dog. Then they saw some weird colors in the bushes that looked unnatural. As they approached, they discerned a young woman lying amidst the foliage. Her limp form suggested she had fainted. Despite their attempts to rouse her, she remained disoriented, her attempts at speech reduced to nonsensical babbling. Moments later, she lapsed into unconsciousness. Initially speculating on the possibilities of substance addiction, one of the medics conducted a thorough examination while her colleague hastened back to retrieve their medical supplies. Unbeknownst to them, the persistent canine had led them to a needy patient, catching them off guard. Upon inspecting her wrist, the medic discovered a medical alert bracelet, a revelation that entirely altered their understanding of the situation. The writing on the bracelet showed that she had diabetes, making them quickly check her deficient blood sugar levels. Despite administering medication in an attempt to aid her, their efforts proved futile as she had already slipped into a diabetic coma, rendering her entirely unresponsive. The dire situation underscored the critical role played by the dog in seeking help. Without her intervention, the woman's chances of survival would have been significantly diminished. Preparations were swiftly made to transport the woman to the hospital, with a loyal pup tagging beside them. Speculation arose regarding the connection between the woman and the dog. It was surmised that they were both out for a walk when the woman's blood sugar plummeted. The fortunate presence of the clever canine, adept at seeking assistance, was instrumental in saving the woman's life. Moved by the dog's remarkable loyalty, the paramedics resolved not to leave her behind, given her pivotal role in summoning help. Thus, they permitted her to accompany them to the hospital, a decision reinforced by the dog's reluctance to depart from the patient's side. Anticipating the family's arrival at the hospital to retrieve her, the heartwarming tale of the rescue quickly circulated, inspiring admiration from the remarkable bond between humans and canines. Among the medical staff tending to the woman, a nurse named Marina assumed responsibility for the dog while awaiting the family's arrival. Despite the absence of any need for restraint, the canine exhibited remarkable composure and obedience, exuding a gentle demeanor and unwavering contentment in receiving affection from anyone around. Not once did she bark or cause any disruption, her tranquil presence reminiscent of Marina's beloved childhood dog. Sporting a name tag inscribed with the moniker Pepper, the dog captivated the admiration of all within the hospital corridors. Her astute behavior and unwavering loyalty garnered unanimous respect, compelling the hospital staff to refrain from attempting to separate her from her human companion. Pepper stayed calm by the woman's bed, showing her strong love, which touched everyone there, proving how close humans and dogs can be. Marina made a thoughtful gesture by fetching dog-friendly food and water from the cafeteria, ensuring Pepper was well cared for. The joy was evident in Pepper's wagging tail as Marina showered her with love and attention, which was heartwarming. Reluctant to be separated from her newfound companion, Pepper wanted to follow Marina, but her attention swiftly returned to the woman on the bed, whose soft moans indicated her ongoing struggle. Despite the stabilization of her blood sugar levels, the woman remained frail, awaiting the imminent arrival of her family. Anticipation filled the air as everyone eagerly anticipated the heartwarming reunion between the family and Pepper, the hero who had saved the young woman's life. Upon hearing the patient's moan, Pepper instinctively returned to her side, tenderly placing her head on the woman's hand. They seemed to have a strong connection that made them feel better and comforted. The devoted dog continued to watch over her human companion, offering her immeasurable support during her time of need. Eventually, the woman's family arrived at the hospital, their emotions visibly raw as tears streamed down their faces. The news of their daughter's ordeal had left them gripped with fear and anxiety. As a young woman living under the watchful eye of her concerned parents, it was evident that her family deeply cherished her. However, when informed of Pepper's pivotal role in saving their daughter's life, the family's initial reaction was not one of joy or gratitude, but rather perplexity and bewilderment. Pepper's name didn't ring a bell, nor the concept of their daughter having a dog aligned with their understanding. It was as if Pepper was a stranger to them, casting a shadow of confusion over what should have been a moment of relief and gratitude. Due to their mother's allergy, the family could not have any pets, a fact made abundantly clear by her immediate allergic reaction upon encountering Pepper. Despite this, they expressed profound gratitude toward Pepper for her remarkable intelligence in recognizing the young woman's distress and seeking help. However, as Pepper was not their dog, they faced a dilemma in temporarily accommodating her while searching for her rightful family. The prospect of her presence exasperating their mother's allergic reaction made it impossible for them to offer her a temporary home. With gratitude and affection, the father ventured out to procure the enormous dog treat and food available for Pepper. While he indulged in some playful interaction with her during the time at the hospital, it became evident that they would not provide her with a permanent home. Recognizing the need for a solution, Nurse Marina compassionately stepped in, offering to care for Pepper. At the same time, the family navigated their situation and endeavored to reunite her with her rightful owners. Now that they were aware the dog didn't belong to the lady, they couldn't help but notice she was a tad dirtier than expected for a cherished pet. However, the presence of a name tag hints at a family somewhere. Marina was determined to reunite them, believing it was the least their heroic dog deserved. In the meantime, she decided to care for Pepper as her own. That evening, Marina took Pepper home with her, but not before visiting the room of the young woman the dog had saved. The woman, still tearful, stroked Pepper's head. She had sensed her blood sugar dropping, but it plummeted too swiftly for her to intervene. She had been conscious of the situation more extended than they realized, but could not articulate it. The dog had stayed by her side, offering comfort during the ordeal. After she left to summon help, Marina returned, and upon arriving home, she gave Pepper a much-needed bath, which the pup surprisingly enjoyed, indicating she was accustomed to regular grooming. Recognizing the importance of Pepper's well-being, Marina took the following day off to accompany her to the vet's office. There, they conducted a scan and discovered a microchip containing the owner's name and address, making reuniting Pepper with her family much simpler than Marina had anticipated. The vet confirmed Pepper's overall good health, noting only slight underweight and dehydration, suggesting she had been lost for a few days or weeks before encountering the young woman on the roadside. Pepper would soon return to her lively self with some nourishment and rest. After leaving the vet's office, Marina and Pepper headed straight to the address retrieved from the microchip. Marina empathized deeply with the thought of a beloved pet going missing and was determined to reunite Pepper with her family promptly. However, upon reaching the house, reality again shattered Marina's expectations. The residence stood eerily empty, devoid of curtains, furniture, or any signs of life. It was as if the place had been abandoned overnight. No one was present to celebrate Pepper's return. A sign on the lawn declared that the house had been sold, adding another layer of mystery to the situation. The revelation proved both disheartening and distressing. Marina grappled with the possibility that the family had relocated without ensuring their dog's whereabouts, or worse, had abandoned Pepper before their departure. Determined for clarity, Marina contacted the real estate agent, seeking information on the previous owners. However, the agent remained tight-lipped initially, unwilling to divulge any details. Yet upon hearing Marina's explanation, she feigned willingness to relay a message. However, it was apparent she had promptly forgotten about it until a week later, during the house paperwork signing session. Despite the delayed response, Marina appreciated the agent eventually sharing the message. During this interim period, the nurse graciously took Pepper under her care, and the dog swiftly became an invaluable companion. Following a particularly grueling day, Marina yearned for nothing more than a glass of wine and a comforting movie at home. However, as soon as she settled onto the couch, Pepper surprised her by hopping up beside her, a behavior she had never displayed before. Nestling her head onto Marina's lap, Pepper offered a warmth and affection that instantly lifted Marina's spirits. Recognizing Pepper's solace, Marina couldn't bear the thought of leaving her alone each day and sought special permission to bring her to work. Because Pepper behaved well and people understood her situation, everyone agreed she could go with Marina. They all felt that Pepper shouldn't stay at home alone. Unknown to everyone, the dog became immensely popular at the hospital. She possessed a remarkable knack for sensing when people required comfort and reassurance, and she adeptly provided it. Upon arrival at the hospital, she would embark on rounds, offering greetings to some patients and curling up next to others for a nap. Her presence brought joy to many of their days. Pepper frequently visited the room of a terminally ill patient who lacked extensive family support. Although her older sister had visited a couple of times, she couldn't stay for long due to her frailty. Feeling lonely and frightened, the patient found solace when Pepper entered the room, leaped onto the bed, and nestled at her feet. Despite nurses' attempts to shoo Pepper away, the patient intervened tearfully, explaining that the time spent with the dog was the most comforting she had experienced in days. One evening, she drifted into sleep with a smile, accompanied by Pepper at her feet, never to awaken again. Pepper ensured she wasn't alone in her final moments. The dog held a unique significance, which made it all the more frustrating that they couldn't assist her until a pivotal phone call altered everything. After the agent relayed the message to the sellers, they promptly contacted Marina. As it turned out, they weren't the homeowners. Instead, it was their father's property. Pepper belonged to him and had been his faithful companion for nearly a year. Pepper's owner had battled severe illness, during which she served as his unwavering support. Their bond had always been special, but it deepened significantly when his health declined, with the dog emerging as the sole source of solace for him. As time passed, the family faced the brutal reality that they could no longer provide adequate care for their father, prompting his transfer to a dementia care facility. Uncertain about Pepper's future, they grappled with the dilemma of what to do with her. Despite their deep affection for her and appreciation of her nurturing nature, they already had their pets and were unsure how Pepper would adjust to a multi-pet household. However, they were determined to ensure their father could still have occasional visits with the dog, recognizing the comfort she brought him. Initially, they left Pepper at home while they focused on settling their father into the care facility and obtaining permission for her visits. Yet, upon returning home to feed her, they discovered she had vanished. They surmised that she had attempted to follow them and became lost. The care facility was far beyond her surroundings, making it an unfamiliar and daunting journey for her. Despite exhaustive searches, Pepper remained elusive, leaving the family devastated by her disappearance. Pepper held a special place in their hearts, as she was the first thing their father inquired about on his good days, and even on his bad days. He would instinctively reach out, as if attempting to pat her at his feet. The void left by Pepper's absence left them feeling helpless and unsure how to proceed. Upon learning of Pepper's discovery, the family breathed a sigh of relief, grateful for her safety and eager to reunite her with their father. However, they remained uncertain about what to do with her moving forward. Reflecting on the journey that began with a distressed dog unexpectedly halting the ambulance's progress, they realized that something remarkable was about to unfold. Marina offered to adopt Pepper and assured the family that she would gladly bring her for visits to their dad's care home. Witnessing the joy on his face upon seeing the dog was genuinely heartwarming. Although his recognition of her was fleeting, he delighted in playing with Pepper. Subsequently, he repeatedly inquired about her ownership and expressed admiration for her fortunate owner, oblivious to the fact that Pepper was now under Marina's care. Despite his confusion, Pepper seemed content to cuddle with him, recalling his affection simply. As the visits drew close, Pepper appeared to be at ease with the transition, accepting that it was time to return home with Marina. Although Marina initially worried about Pepper's reaction to leaving him behind, it became evident that the dog found solace in knowing he was well cared for. Recognizing Pepper's exceptional qualities, Marina saw a unique purpose for her in life. She arranged for Pepper to undergo therapy support dog training, enabling her to accompany Marina to work every day to provide comfort to sick patients. Pepper took to her new role enthusiastically, and patients consistently expressed gratitude for her presence, regardless of the severity of their illness. From initially assisting one person in need with her instincts, Pepper's training now empowered her to impact the lives of many positively. Beyond her role as a therapy support dog, Pepper also found a devoted human companion in Marina. At the end of each day, she returned home with her beloved best friend, completing a fulfilling cycle of support and companionship. Marina ensured that work for Pepper wasn't all seriousness. She made sure they had plenty of playtime and fun together. While Pepper fulfilled her responsibilities as a caring nurse and comforted those in need, she embraced her true nature as a joyful and playful dog, especially when chasing after a ball. This balance allowed Marina and Pepper to lead fulfilling lives, combining purpose and enjoyment. Together, they created a wonderful life filled with purpose and joy.